most alive for me right now.
Live streaming is on.
Thanks, Lauren. Sprint 6 debrief for the Give token economy. Okay. Doing our check-ins. What's most alive for me right now in my physical body is like I'm just kind of settling back into my workspace and have a desire to facilitate an efficient meeting where we can get updates on the various things and see how Sprint 6 has gone. And yeah, I feel complete. I will pass it to you, Griff.
Yeah. What's alive for me? Yeah, just getting into a new spot, settling in, had some sushi for lunch, and feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'm also excited to see what we accomplished and where we. I feel like we didn't get very far this sprint, or like So I'm very curious to see what we forgot to do, and I'll pass it to Lauren.
Hey, what's most alive for me is this like hectic feeling because they installed my internet, so it was like, oh, can you come here right now? And then I did, and it was like arguing, and then like now the internet's installed. Then I came here, and it was like, oh, 4:58, and I like sat down. So I'm feeling a little bit like boom, 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 but I'm happy to be here. And intentions for the meeting. I'm just like still kind of like here just to observe. I mean, I wrote that give backs piece, but it's sort of like on standby. I'm sort of like just waiting for more information, but just trying to stay in the loop on everything. And I pass it back to you, Forrest.
Awesome. Thank you, Lauren. And good luck getting your internet set up. House. I know that can be like super chaotic, but also exciting. So happy nesting. Okay, so let's dig in. I shared a link to the Notion agenda. It's just like I'm collecting all the Sprint 6 stuff in one place. So if you scroll to the bottom, that's where I'm taking notes for the debrief. So I think first, if we can just kind of go through section by section of our sprint priorities and just get some updates. So last we spoke, I know we heard a little bit of the unfortunate DApp node update with, focusing on looking for a replacement dev. And I'm curious, Griff, if you have an update on that, how that's been going from Lansky's side. You might unmute. I don't hear you. I love your facial expressions. Such a genuine, like, oh.
Yeah. So I'm acting a fool talking with my mic closed. But yeah, DApp node, I'll know more tomorrow. I have a meeting with them in 14 hours. So no updates.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, and I imagine probably you want to have that meeting before making this kind of decision, but I know you had mentioned like, okay, we're really focused on finding this replacement dev, but something for us to contemplate or consider as we figure all that out is perhaps Giveth might actually launch before DApp node now, just because they've got like this big blocker. Have you had any more thoughts around that, or like still the focus is more on finding a replacement?
I would have to get Edu to agree to that, and so I don't know. I'll ask him. I have talked to him about it, and it didn't make sense at the time. But maybe it'll make sense. I mean, honestly, whoever launches second is better off. I think it makes more sense for Giveth to launch second, because then Edu's baby is on the line when he writes these smart contracts, which is just like, better incentive. Not that, of course, he loves Giveth. He wouldn't do it, but like, he's putting all his focus in the DApp node. If we try to launch Giveth with him being the lead smart contract dev, then, that's not necessarily the best that's not the best situation. You know, you don't want to launch like this is what happened to Tree. I don't know. Did you guys ever see Tree? It's a blockchain for good rebase token from Whaler
I don't think
DAO.
so.
No, they had like a lot of. It was like, yeah, we're gonna plant trees all over the world using this rebase token. It's gonna be super cool. But they were using a part-time smart contract dev who has another project, and he was just like kind of also doing this project, but he wasn't putting everything into it, and they had like huge failure for launch. So it's one of these things where I would rather have like a 3-month delay and have a great launch than like be 3 months early and fail at launch. So,
Yeah.
it's like if we get a smart
Yeah,
contract
I'm
dev,
totally with you. Getting all of our ducks in a row.
we just need somebody who's like, this is going to be my main focus is like, making sure this works. My heart and soul are in this project. Like, and if we don't have someone like that to guide the smart contract launch, then like the launch of a token and liquidity mining pools and all this stuff, like there's a lot of moving parts. It's not really doable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense.
But if node launches first and already did it and already worked out the kinks and has like their whole, that whole focus on it, like sure it works, copy, paste, deploy. We don't really need a full smart contract dev. Edu will have done it once and he can do part-time second launch, and it won't be that big of a deal because all the mysteries have been elucidated.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Totally makes sense. He'll just be working on like the same product basically.
Yeah, and just make
Okay.
a few minor improvements that he's
Cool.
like, oh, I wish I would have done that the first time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Making minor improvements. And okay, cool. Yeah, looks like Willie and Bowen haven't joined. I was hoping to get an airdrop update from them on the closing out the contributor stuff. Have you heard anything? I sent a message to Willie earlier. Oh, hey Ashley. I sent a message to Willie earlier, but I haven't heard back. I think he's just getting off a shift now. Griff, do you know anything beyond what was shared yesterday on the community call as far as the airdrop? I don't think that they've like hacked on closing it out completely since then.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine we just did like some kind of vote and then got some
Aragon.
but we didn't. Not an Aragon vote, more like a spreadsheet vote. But yeah, I mean, I know nothing. It'd be Danny, Bowen, or Willie who'd know something.
Yeah. Okay. Vote hack session on our last give token call. Need latest update from Willie, Bowen, Danny here. Okay. All right. And then Fabio with the data pulling that he's been reporting on for every round and like the list of addresses to get Give. I know you kind of walked us through that initial spreadsheet a little bit, Griff, on our last call. Has Fabio made any major with him since then?
No. We just got to that point, and now he wants to add some more data, like little graphs and stuff, and have fun with it. But I don't think it wasn't a priority this week since his last efforts.
Okay, cool. So then on givebacks for project verification, Ashley and I have been collaborating over the last week. We sent out the acceptance and rejection emails to our round 1 project. So everyone's been notified. The type form has been updated with all of the feedback that we got, and also just some things that we collectively kind of decided would make sense to update. We updated the copy that is written in some of the questions and the context at the top of the page, and then that transitioned from Google Docs to Typeform. So the 2 projects that were rejected were also shared with the new Typeforms so that they can apply again. And then we've invited our next round. We wrote our invite emails, and we invited the next round of projects to apply. One of which was the Bloom Network, and I believe also Gaia Gives, so we can get them added. Well, no, Gaia Gives, they're going to be in our next round because they're adding their project to Giveth.io, and we want to get them verified as soon as possible for the white label stuff. And so far, unless Ashley, there's been an update since, I think we've received 3 of the projects have actually died. So now we're just scheduling when we'll do our project verification party one evening this week and review those projects. But yeah, I feel like the process is really becoming more and more streamlined, and it feels pretty straightforward and easy. And I feel like we're kind of getting into a flow of things. So that's exciting. And then Marco on design mockups. Lauren shared this Figma file from her conversations with him. So I have pasted that in here as well. I think you've seen this, Griff, but I will ping it in the chat just in case not. Oh, and I see in the chat, Ashley also shared the updated type form for project verification. So that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and actually, I would love to see Lauren, if you have a link to your piece as well, or where.
Oh yeah, I can share that in the chat. Just a sec.
The comms article on givebacks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Forrest, Griff and I were talking in the message, but I don't know what works better for you. Would 4 p.m. on Wednesday work better, or 8 p.m.?
Let me check my calendar real quick. One sec. On Wednesday, you said?
Yeah.
I think 4 p.m.
Okay, let's plan for that.
Okay, cool. I'll send out an invite.
Yes, please. Calendar invite, or it didn't happen, or it won't happen.
Cool. Let me send this. I guess. Actually, it's just wildwanderer@gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Cool. Okay, I just sent it out. With her comms article in the chat. I'm going to paste that in the Notion agenda also so that anyone else who wants to review later can see it. Lauren, have you had any, have you had it reviewed by Willie or anyone from the comms team?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone's reviewed it. I mean, I did send it to Willie, and Bowen took a look at it and left me some comments, and then I kind of added some more comments, but there were just still some things a bunch of things that I would need to change, but I didn't want to change them too early. Like I didn't want to spend the time and then have to spend the time again later. So I sort of was like, okay, this is good enough for now, and left it like that and didn't try pushing it to get people to edit it because it might change.
Yeah, I think once we have this little session with Willie kind of explaining everything, like we could get some more clarity around that so you can kind of define it better.
Yeah. Did Willie send out a doodle poll for that, or should I?
Willie did already. It's in the
He did already.
scheduling,
Okay, cool.
I believe.
Okay, cool. Take a look at that. Griff, are you reading this article right now? Do you want to have any time to like hack on this before talking about the other sprint priorities?
No, we can. I mean, I'm just like listening and waiting for a moment. But yeah, I'm looking at the article while hanging out.
Okay, cool. So then our other sprint priority was hiring the Solidity dev, which, you know, that has gone out. It's been blasted on social and in some of the messaging channels, and it's also going to go out in our What's Happening post. Griff, the how to apply is sending a resume and a cover letter to your email. So I'm curious if you have received any interest via email yet.
That is a horrible, horrible mistake. I do not look at my email. I can check though.
In the future, maybe we'll put Danny Bell's email or something. Or mine, and I can like review it and pass it
I'll
on.
just make some kind of forwarding. Oh no, because it's just random people. Oh no. I don't know. Let's see. I can try to check my email. But so far I don't see any. Did you say what the title would be?
Yes, let me see if I can pull that up.
I mean, I'm just scrolling, but hopefully.
Definitely it would say Solidity developer in the title, but let me just check exactly what it's called.
Oh, no, I just got one from Danny. Nope, I don't see anybody. If possible, I mean, is it something we can change right now? Just someone who checks their email? I mean, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, we totally can at this point. Like I can just ask Mitch to update it quickly in the docs because that's where we've been like shilling that link. And so anyone who saw the docs before this time, like up till this point, will maybe email you, but then after this point, looking at the docs. I'll just send Mitch a quick DM right now.
I frequently check the giveth.io at gmail.com. That could be one to have it sent to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. I'm changing it on the Notion, which is I think where the link that we sent out.
No, actually, we sent out the link from the docs, not from the Notion.
You copied it into a separate doc.
Yeah.
Okay. But the email, I think, is what you were just double checking. It's Giveth and then spelled out .dotio@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah.
And the subject line, Griff, is Giveth Solidity Developer.
Yeah, I don't think so. We have a bunch of memes that from the meme party for the Solidity developer. I hope we can tweet the fuck out of them.
Yeah, totally. I can tweet the fuck out of them.
Yeah, because memes hit. Memes hit.
Yeah. I don't know if you have an opinion on this, but Magenta mentioned that like it's better to just send tweets mostly in the early parts of the day, like because then people in Europe still see it. Otherwise, it gets hidden. So I'll just do that tomorrow morning. Do you think it's too much to share like tweets about the impact campaign and tweets about the Solidity developer thing at the same time? Because I could do it all tomorrow. No, just okay. I'll do it.
I
all
think
tomorrow
it's okay
morning.
to do it in the same day. I just wouldn't do it like immediately back to back because then it could get buried.
Yeah. So how long should I wait in between tweets? Because if I only have this like window of time first thing in the morning to tweet,
I think.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
You
I
can
think
schedule
also
tweets.
schedule tweets.
but
Like,
that's what I
even
mean.
just-
Like, when should I
Oh.
schedule?
So you can. Oh, that's well. I mean, before U.S. wakes up is also cool, right? I don't know. Yeah. What's our ideal tweet time?
Magenta was saying like between like 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So then just expand that. Like
Yeah,
put
do
it
like
dark.
7 a.m. and then 10 a.m. or something.
Okay.
Works for me.
Okay.
Forrest, you seem to have opinions here too.
Yeah, I think doing one of the posts at that like 10, 11 time that Magenta mentioned and then waiting like a few hours. So maybe the next one is at like 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. just so that there's like a break, but it's before like business hours. I feel like people start kind of checking out a little bit more in the late afternoon and early evening.
Yeah, I liked Ashley's 7 a.m. though a little bit better, just because Europe is where a lot of Solidity devs are.
Okay, cool. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
so I'll tweet about the Solidity dev first thing in the morning, like at 7 a.m., and then I'll tweet about the campaign later.
Cool.
You got it. I got this.
Awesome. So then the only other sprint priority that we have not yet talked about, well, one under the givebacks is also Mitch doing like the more thorough documentation, but he is holding off on where we can learn a little bit more about like the thoroughness and the way that the givebacks program works, just so he can have more clarity in writing a deeper piece. And then the other sprint priority is the UI and UX, not just for the givebacks, but in general. And what in our last sprint session, we said we're going to wait this sprint cycle so that DApp node plugs the front end into the contracts before we provide feedback. So the UI, the UX is done. Has the front end been plugged into the contract? Yeah. So I'm not sure the answer to that. Do you know, Griff?
Has the front end been, no, it hasn't. There's still one more smart contract that Edu is working on.
Okay. Working
Oh man, thank you for this. Great. Thank you guys for the links in the chat. Thank you, Ashley.
plugged into. Cool. Okay. So those are all the updates that we have on our sprint priorities. So just kind of summarizing, little bit blocked on the DApp node front, kind of waiting till that meeting tomorrow to see what's going on with the replacement dev and just kind of confirming like launch roadmap. We still need to get an update from Willie, Bowen, or Danny on the airdrop contributors list, but all the other buckets have been finalized and closed out. So we're like really in the final stretch, even though that final stretch has gotten pushed to a couple different sprints. It feels like we're super close. Fabio has been doing a lot of work on like the data graphics and just kind of like projecting what a GiveBacks program would look like. So that's super cool. I don't think that was a sprint priority, but it was almost like a cool bonus to be able to check that out. GiveBacks project verification is going well and underway. We have some mock-ups from Marco as far as design. Lauren has shared her comms article, so we'll just do like a review and edit of that. And then that should be ready to go. And then, Willie is going to be hosting his session. Let me just add that in here. GiveBacks deep dive explanation session with Willie. Once attending, Mitch will begin full documentation. Cool. And then the hiring of the Solidity developer, that's been pushed out. We're going to continue promoting and building more momentum with that. We haven't received any submissions yet, and now we're updating where we'll receive the submissions to. And then for the UI and the UX, it sounds like there's one more smart contract that Edu's working on, but the other things have been plugged in.
They're not plugged. It's small detail. They're not plugged in, but once all of the smart contracts are put together, then they can all be plugged in.
Okay, cool. Cool, that makes sense. Awesome. Let me add Ashley on here.
So I was going through the Giveth planning board looking at issues, and I found this one about pulling the donation addresses from Gitcoin, and it looks like it hasn't been accomplished yet, but
No,
does it have to be Willie because he's the owner, or can it be anybody from the team?
No, we already got all the, that's closed. We did it.
Okay, I'm going to close it. Cool.
Yeah, I would love to hang out more on this planning board, honestly. Probably has all sorts of secret gems in here.
Let's pull that up.
Oh, yeah. Let's just open.
Zen Hub. Oh, what is this weird error?
Did we make enough changemaker memes? I feel like we can close this.
It's a long campaign, so I don't think there can be too many.
Okay.
Zen Hub. I'm going to close this one.
Just out of curiosity, how has working with Merlin been? Anybody?
Yeah, it's been totally good. I mean, I like working with Merlin. He's super sweet. He's always down to pick up issues on the Giveth.io board. He's like, he picks them up and then he follows through on them. He's always responsive in GitHub, and we had a meeting the other day talking about like the streamlining testing and then like the automated testing, and he's been working hard on that. He's awesome. I approve.
Great, cool. Because we could try to solidify something more regular with them. Right now, it's just kind of like $19 an hour, whatever you want, you know. But if he's awesome, then we can make it a little more formal.
Ask James and Mateo too for their opinion, because they're working more directly with him on dev. But yeah, like I think James likes him too. We just had a testing meeting with the three of us, and James was like, "Thanks so much, Merlin. You're great." And I was like, "Yeah."
Great. Hey, Bowen.
Howdy. How you doing? I love the hoodie or whatever that you have there.
Yeah, it is a hoodie. Actually.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, but
yes, go ahead.
well, I was actually going to ask about contributors, current contributors. For some reason, I can't even find the spreadsheet where we're looking at that. But do you know if we ended up with a final list for tokens?
Do you have, for some reason, in all of my tabs, it's in the current contributors? Is that the one you're asking me about?
Well, yeah, the current contributors. But yeah, I go to the current contributors sheet and it doesn't say anything about tokens.
Yeah, we current contributor was not my domain originally. I believe that was Danny that was doing that, or was responsible for that, and so I didn't ever do anything with it, and I haven't actually looked at it since our meeting where we put all of the rest of the ones in the tokens or the give tokens spreadsheet, which I do have.
Do you happen to know even where that spreadsheet is? Because we're just trying to do the like, hey, how far did we get in this last sprint? And
if you give me a few minutes, I can find it because I know it was shared to me. So I will find that for you really quick.
In the chat.
You found it?
I think.
That's not it.
No, this is a different sheet. This is the one I keep ending up in, and it says nothing about tokens.
Oh no, that's the one I had. That's the only one that I've seen.
It does say about tokens like at the end. The last column says tokens.
But it doesn't appear to have everybody that is the current contributor in it. But it looks like it got that far at least toward done. Do you want me to try and herd this?
No. I mean, you can
because I can.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
here, try this one.
Is this the RGIV token distribution? I think this is it. No, is it? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. So we got it to a good place, but we didn't really finish it, right?
Well, that's cool. Haven't seen that one before.
Okay, so there's still some work that needs to be done on the spreadsheet for sure. So I think I would say that on the current contributor airdrop, I mean, we gotta be able to finish it this round. It just needs to be prioritized.
Yeah, if there's anything that I can do to help with that, or even just like, try and point people in that direction, I can try and do that. Though I don't understand what's going on in a lot of what's up there. So I don't know that I can personally contribute to it, but I can contribute to like maybe trying to get people to do stuff.
Yeah, I think Danny and Hannah were working on it.
Okay. Oh my Lord, look at how low gas is.
Yeah.
What happened?
I heard something about arbitrage bots.
That was my guess this morning, because of the Ethermine bot that like screwed one of the people that were trying to do like a snipe on a token that was just added to Uniswap, and they did an uncle snipe of it. There's a whole article of it if you want me to send it to you. It's really amazing. They made 145 ETH on it.
Wow.
Because they don't actually accept any dark pool. They only do their own MEV. So what they did is they out MEV'd an MEV. And so I think all of a sudden everybody realized that anybody doing that was going to lose their money to Ethermine. And now they have to figure out how to like screw the system better than Ethermine has now. Because like everything going on with miners and like proof of work is really just turned into bad actors trying to act worse than the other bad actors. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's really.
I'll find the article and send it to you.
Yeah, yeah, I guess we just gotta talk to Danny about the current contributor stuff, because it's not looking very. I don't like the results here. The Trace team is like totally downgraded because they don't get cred or enough praise. So it looks kind of weird.
Oh yeah, and I still have to buy into Common Stack, which I have not been able to do yet.
Oh, did you apply for a scholarship?
No, I just found out about that from Danny, because I'm like, I still don't have 2,700 tokens. And she's like, oh, why don't you just do this? And I'm like, I should.
Yeah.
I mean, if I guess that's the second person that's saying that I should do it. So I guess I could take that as advice, if you will. Yes, here it is. You're gonna love this.
Ooh. Looks like, yeah. Looks like I can edit the Solidity dev post. Cool. Well, Forrest, what else should we do in this time?
I was just going through GitHub and like closing some issues and just seeing if there's anything for us to discuss. But a lot of the things that I'm seeing in the planning board more have to do with like comm stuff around the Give token and just like some road mapping stuff. So I'm not seeing anything for the group on this call to discuss necessarily. Bowen, since you're here with us, I mean, do you have any like questions or support that you need?
As far as I know, like 99% of everything that I was supposed to do is done. But I can, like I said, I can try and maybe help support Danny in getting this last page out, because as soon as that's done and we have our penultimate token numbers down, I can do the final edits on the where all of the tokens go in case there's any overlap with the ones that haven't been done yet. And everything will be ready to go very shortly after the last page is done and the final token amounts are in the final token page.
And what about the edge case stuff? I think
that's the stuff I'm talking about doing as soon as the final numbers are up. Yeah, so I can do my end of the edge case stuff, and what I will do is I'll reach out to everyone else to make sure that there aren't any other edge cases, and we can. I think it'll be good to go at that point, because there are a number of people that don't have addresses for their tokens, and I think they're just going to sit in the pool until we assign them addresses when we find out that they are still interested in getting them, even though we don't have their address. If that makes sense. So those are the two last things, but that one will happen probably after the airdrop is already live. The edge cases that I have to do, which I think that there are less than 5, even though there are multiple lines or whatever, I'll have done the moment that I find out that you guys have gotten the rest of the token sheet done. Wow. Gas, guys.
Yeah, that's an awesome update. Thank you so much, Bowen. I'm glad that you were able to join today.
Yeah,
let us know.
For some stupid reason, I thought that this meeting was done. and I had another thing scheduled at the beginning of it, and I apologize for that. I will endeavor to not allow that decision to happen again.
Okay. This meeting grew. It was just Forrest, Lauren, and I at first, and then Ashley joined, and then you joined. Now it's a party.
True story.
Woo!
Awesome. Well, I'm super excited to hear 99% complete from Bowen's end. That's pretty badass. What are you going to do with yourself now, Bowen?
Oh man, I have my eyeballs glued to DeFi. No, actually, I was talking to I forget who I was talking to, but there's a gentleman by the name of Mark Katakowski. This doesn't have anything to do with the Give tokens, but it does have to do with Giveth 2.0. Mark Katakowski, who's one of the capital contributors to my crypto, and he runs Forever Labs, which is a stem cell banking thing that we're all a part of, and several other things, is trying to do a DAO for planting trees. And he was asking anybody if there was any way that, or any place that he knew that he could advertise, kind of trying to get donations for this idea. And I was like, this sounds like like Luker actually said to him first that this sounds like a great idea for Giveth. You should maybe pitch it at Bowen. And so I pitched him to like go to the Giveth 2.0 site and maybe register to do it. And after I did the thing for my crypto for acceptance and everything, I kind of was going to let him know that there's another step in the process, and if he needs any help to go ahead and get a hold of me, and then I'll put him in touch with whoever is necessary on the other end. So trying to sort of help out to get projects that are cool through with reputable people, even though it's just kind of a side thing that just kind of happened. But one of our regulars and good people wanted to do a thing, which I thought was really awesome.
That's pretty neat and pretty badass.
I will.
I hear so many badoops. It's like half on my end, and I think all of us on Discord or something at the same time.
I have headphones on, so I know it isn't mine.
Nice. So we have 10 minutes left. I'm curious if anyone has a request for any like group hack on anything. I mean, one thing that came to mind is just taking a look at Lauren's article.
I can take a look at that.
There is a link to it in the chat. Bowen, can you
The one
see
that
like
says-
all the chat history from this meeting?
Yes. The
Cool.
please grant me moderator rights one.
Yeah, the Google Doc.
Got it. Oh, yes.
Lauren, are you going to change your official legal name?
Yeah, I think so. Seems
To
so
what?
fitting. Lauren, please grant me moderator rights.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it looks like Giveth Old Farts is also gone from this.
I know, I updated it.
That was my favorite quote of the day. And I'm like, but you can't say that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the meme that you put in this article is hilarious.
Which one?
The more you give, the more you receive with that ridiculous wink. Good little sexual innuendo. Never hurt anybody.
That show was amazing.
Uh-huh.
It almost seems like it needs to be two different articles, like one describing kind of how Giveth works, and then one like announcing the airdrop.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff in the article that's like, well, these are things that we want to do, but we're not going to do at launch. So do we talk about them, you know?
Yeah. No, that's why, I mean, everyone's sort of looking at it, but I wouldn't have suggested everyone to look at it because I feel like a lot of it I'll pare down and I still have to add in numbers for like the airdrop. And I don't feel like this is a ready to blast out thing. So it's cool if you just like skim through it and give some feedback, but don't be too particular because it's
I would agree. I feel like we need to write more like a specification and a detailed thing more than an outward facing thing, more like an internal facing thing.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Like,
and when
have this give economy overview call, but really, like, if we just talk about stuff and it's not written down, what's even the point?
I do want to point out one small thing, and I mentioned it to Lauren on the call that she was asking me questions about stuff, which I was excited about. That was fun. When I was contacting everybody about trying to get their addresses and stuff, I was like, you know, just hold tight because I know we're going to do a post about like what this is and what it means and what you're going to be able to do with it. So like, I know that people definitely want up on the information. I was wondering if this is the document that I was telling everybody about or not. Like, I mean, not in its current state, but when it is finished.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The goal of this is to be something like the Uniswap airdrop announcement.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's or any of the other ones, but Uniswaps was particularly good. I remember. But just to be clear, and this is, I know something that is marked for document removal. Is this going to be separate from a document that explains how these tokens can be used in the future, where you say that you can stake them on other people's projects and all that other stuff, which isn't actually implemented yet, as far as I know?
Yeah, that's the other thing that we should do, is really align on the roadmap.
Okay.
You know, so we have the airdrop and liquidity mining. Those things need to be, those are like the first things that need a lot of details. And then we have, we're eventually going to work with OneHive to create a Give, gardens, Giveth gardens. And then we're going to have, project staking, hopefully, if we can figure out a few technical details and get a smart contract dev to do it. And
it's always the bottleneck.
Yeah. What are the other things that we want to do? You know, there's like, and causes, quadratic voting on causes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I still have trouble with how we're going to do identity on quadratic funding, but you know, it's happening already, so we got to be able to do it. Yeah, first. Oh, okay. Forrest, it looked like you raised your hand.
Oh, did I? I didn't mean to. I was just responding to Ashley's chat and taking some notes in the Notion doc about roadmap.
I will have to go in just a couple of minutes because I do have a hard out at 5. But hey, I will see Taylor and Jordan like in person in about an hour and a half. So I can send the love along for you. Are you still in San Francisco?
I'm in Seattle now.
Oh, are you going to be in Seattle in 2 weeks after next Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. Well, good. I'll hit you up because we're coming to Seattle for a week and then we're going to Portland for a week.
Nice.
So you can meet Michael if you haven't met him yet, because we're going to hang out with Michael from My Crypto while we're up in the Seattle area. And cool. I'll hit you with the itinerary and everything, but I'm excited to see you in person for sure.
Yeah, let's have some hack sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're both going to have to work while we're there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, might as well. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I think this is. I have to run.
Okay, and I'll try and get together. I'll wave at you guys because I'm actually here. I'm just not dressed very well.
Hi.
I will get a hold of Danny tomorrow and see if there's anything that I can do to help get that other page done. And please hit me up on Discord if anybody needs anything. I'm trying to keep my ringer on.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Bowen. Thank you, Griff.
Thanks, Bowen.
Yeah, thanks guys.
everyone.
Thanks, Lauren and Ashley.
Bye.
Nice to
Have a
connect
good
with you
night.
guys tonight.